What's good? What's good? Y'all know who it is. Y'all know what it is. Let's get into this. So, today I just got a question. Why is it that Hispanic, the black community, why do we feel that we are the only people that have experienced or know what it is to be poor? Why do we feel like we've cornered the market on poverty, anguish, strife, all this shit? And more importantly, why do we have such a poor self-image of ourselves? What I mean by that is, why do we constantly associate or disassociate ourselves from being smart? Being smart in our communities, by some people, not all, but a large part of our community looks down on education and you know, just being well spoken. These are things that are made fun of. These are things that are not really cool in our community. If you get, I heard this, and the reason I say this because I was listening to a Clubhouse, and this dude was on there. Apparently, he's from Chicago. He's Spanish or whatever, and he was talking about you know, the black on black violence, whatever. You know, listen, whatever the case may be with that conversation. But at some point in the conversation, somebody said to him that he sounds like he is from a middle to upper class family because of the way he spoke. Now, the dude said some neighborhood in Chicago that I couldn't tell you. I don't know about Chicago like that. But he made it seem like the neighborhood he come from is not a good neighborhood at all. He just basically said, why can't I come from the hood? Because I'm educated? Why do we have this image of ourselves that if we're educated, that you're not quote unquote hood? You can't relate. We take the skate, we make excuses for all of our behaviors. Bear in mind, in the projects, there are thousands of people that live in the projects. Not just 100, not just 45 people. There are a couple thousand people that live in the New York City project. Not all of them choose to go out there and sell drugs. Not all of them go out there and choose to rob somebody. Not all of them go out there and choose to kill people. There are some people that live in the very same circumstances that these people that sell drugs, kill, rob, do all of the above. They live there and they say, oh, well, you know, he came up in the projects and, you know, his mom was on drugs. There's people that come from the projects, their mom is on drugs, and they work at fucking, they have a union job. They are lawyers. Now, yes, there are fewer people that you would say the latter of that, you know, that came from those type of situations and environments than the former, which, you know, it's easier to do bad. It just is. When it's in your face and it's all you see and that's all you know, it's harder to rise above the bullshit and come and go your own way and break the chain. It's very hard. Very few people can do it. But let's not act like it's impossible and it doesn't happen. There are many people that do it. There are many people that look at that shit and say, nah, I'm not going to go out there and sell crack. I'm going to go and I'm going to stay in school. I'm going to go and I'm going to complete my you know, get my college degree and I'm going to get the fuck out the projects the right way. Why do we look at ourselves with such self-hate? Now, like I said, man, you can say whatever you want. You can say whatever you want about black on black crime, and yes, there's white on white crime, and Hispanic on Hispanic crime, and Asian on Asian crime. Yes, it is well documented. But let's keep it official. Look at yourself in the mirror. If you live in New York, if you live in the hood, whether it be New York City, I don't care where it is, are you more likely to be killed by a white person than you are by somebody that lives right next door to you that looks just like you? Let's be for real now. These dudes that are walking around the streets with guns are not walking around the streets with guns because they're scared of a Chinese dude or they're scared. No, we have to look out and be careful and be cautious around our own kind. There's something wrong with that. Like, nothing, our whole mindset, our whole state of mind, the way that we think, the way that we act day to day is not normal. And I'm glad that people are starting to bring to the forefront mental health, because in our communities, everybody suffers from mental health. You know how stressful it is to work, to go day to day? Just walking to the train, anything can happen at any given time. That is stressful. That's what soldiers go through. Soldiers go through those type of stresses because they don't know. When you're taking that car, you in that Hummer going to wherever you're going to, you might hit a fucking bomb might fucking explode. You might get ambushed. It is the same type of mental anguish and mental strain that the average person that lives in these hoods goes through. You cannot say, listen, man, if you live in the hood, you know at any given time, for any reason, anything can happen. Good, bad, ugly, whatever the case may be. Why don't we look at, like, my biggest problem, and I'm looking inward, I'm looking at me, because I've done it. I'm guilty of it too, of making excuses and all that shit. Instead of being real with ourselves, man, we tear ourselves down. We tear each other down. Even on social media, you see your man post something good, and you won't like it, you won't comment, you look. It's the strangest thing. Whenever somebody tries to better themselves, tries to show growth, we quickly assume that they're changing for the worse when they're just trying to better themselves. Oh, that motherfucker think he's somebody, oh, he changing or she changing or whatever. When you just trying to rise above and do better. We have a terrible outlook on our lives, on our community. We hate each other, and I don't even know why. There's plenty of hate out there in the world besides the ones that we're doing to ourselves. Like, we don't have to contribute to that. We should be uplifting. We should be educating. The thing that like, somebody said something. Listen, you might not like my message. You might not like me. I might bother you, my face, my beard, my glasses. It might annoy you. I get it. But remove the messenger and listen to the message. You might not like me, but you could look and hear what I say and say, I don't like that motherfucker. But he did have a point. Forget about the messenger. Focus on the message. Focus on yourself. Focus on what you can control. Your children, the people within your household. If we start building household by household by household, eventually we will come up out of this madness. It starts home. Let's focus on our four walls, our children. Let's feed them information that will help them, not hurt them. Anyway, man, y'all be good out there, man. I pray for better tomorrows because I have young children that are gonna be living in tomorrow after tomorrow after tomorrow, and I want those days to be good for them. And I know you want the same. Let's work together, man. Let's stop tearing each other down. Whether you're black, you're Spanish, whatever the case may be, man. Stop focusing on this shit that don't really matter. It don't matter. Y'all be good out there, man. Till the next time I see y'all, man. Peace.